Kevin Bryan, Rikers Island. Let's put up the picture of Rikers Island. He was a detainee. According to the report, he took his own life while in custody this week, marking the 14th death in custody connected to Rikers Island this year alone. 35-year-old Kevin Bryan entered the notorious jail complex on September 8th after he was booked on a second-degree burglary charge. Bryan was found hanging from a pipe inside of a staff bathroom at the Eric M. Taylor Center just after 7 a.m. His death is the third confirmed or suspected suicide in a month and the fifth this year. Benny Bascio is the president of the Corrections Officers Benevolent Association, called COBA. According to him and sources, prior to his death, the officer on duty had secured Bryan inside of an officer's station while he was bullied and threatened by other detainees. There's more. The officer, who was at the end of a double shift and was the only staffer on duty in the housing area, was attempting to notify a supervisor and ask for backup when Bryan entered the staff bathroom and bolted the door. Sources and the president of COBA noted the lock on the outside of the door had malfunctioned. An assistant deputy warden responded to the scene, kicked down the door, and found Bryan unresponsive, tied a pipe inside of the bathroom around 7:08 a.m. He was pronounced dead about 40 minutes later, according to the Department of Corrections. So the Brooklyn Defender Services, who represented Bryan, said in a statement, and I quote, "We are absolutely devastated by the death of Kevin Bryan, died on Wednesday after 7 days of incarceration in a Rikers Island jail. We grieve with his family, friends, and all who are affected by his death. It is an utter outrage that 14 people have lost their lives in New York City jails this year alone. Mr. Bryan's death is another horrifying result of NYC Department of Corrections' complete failure to protect the health and safety of people incarcerated in its jails. Mr. Bryan's death was yet another preventable loss of a person held pretrial on bail." Now, please remember, everyone in this facility, this jail, is innocent. Let me say that again. Everybody there, virtually, is innocent. You see, innocence is a legal term of art. It is a legal standard inside of the judicial system. Innocent does not mean you did not do it. Innocent means you have this presumption. Now, some people will say, you're innocent until proven guilty. That's not the way we should say it. We should say innocent unless proven guilty. Because when we say innocent until proven guilty, we are assuming that the proven guilty part is coming anyway. So all of these individuals are legally innocent of whatever crime they've been charged of. So far, 2022, deaths in 2022 set to outpace last year's already steep toll of 16, which is the most deaths the agency had seen since 2016 and more than 2019 and 2020 combined. By this time last year, just 10 deaths had been recorded, marking a 40% increase year to date in 2022. So let's talk about the officer on duty, okay? The officer on duty had been by herself when there's typically another person by way of protocol. The Department of Correction, DOC, they have been in the throes of a staffing crisis for more than a year. More than 3,500 correction officers had resigned or retired since 2019, including 559 who left this year alone, resulting in a 35% decline in headcount. COBA claimed previously the decline outpaces the 27% drop in the inmate population in that period. That's data from the union shows. So let's look at the commissioner here. He's the guy in charge. Buck stops with him. All right, that's Commissioner Molina. Molina, compounding the staffing issue, is a chronic dynamic. Additional to this, people that are employed but not coming to work. That's another element they're dealing with. So this commissioner has recently cracked down on this operation of absenteeism by firing workers. Don't show up for work or suspending them for 30 days. You know, police and police-like operations are so weird sometimes. So if you don't go to work, they literally will likely not fire you. They will suspend you for 30 days. That'll do it. Okay. Obviously, this is a violation of due process. Individuals not being able to be protected. That's negligent security, premises liability. All of that is attached to the fact that they will not do what they need to do in order to have the right staff. What does that mean? Pay them. Pay them the right amount of money. Make sure you're engaging individuals so that they have a decent work environment. Create policies that people can be proud of. You may attract better people in that facility if you do so. Jackson, thoughts here?
So, obviously 14 people dying this year alone just shows how high of a chance you have of not doing well within that prison system. But, these types of things end up happening within the prison system because, as we talk about all the time, it's where the forgotten people and the people that nobody really cares about in terms of societal standards go. So in terms of policy, it's often pushed to the bottom of things that are important and what we need to do and who we need to be helping. But, the biggest way, in addition to reforming our prison system, to reducing the amount of people within prison is to improve the socioeconomic conditions of the country, improve the neighborhoods that we live in, increase the amount of opportunities people have access to, and lessen the amount that it costs just to live and breathe. And you won't have people put in positions to even make choices to be thrown in jail. So this would be less of a problem. But obviously, the issue in and of itself is what conservatives in this country don't really care about.
Yeah, very well said. There's always a cause and effect relationship to everything we experience. And the prerequisite for, let's say, crime is typically poverty.